Okay, welcome back to part 2 of the webinar. Okay, back to you, Liz.
Thank you. So one more sketch to watch, and I'm sure everybody recognizes this man. Boris Johnson, our leader. Let's find out a bit about him, some background to the sketch that we're going to watch. Let's move on to the next sketch.
Do you want me to move straight to the video?
Well, no, just...
Sorry, no, it's not a video, apologies.
Yeah. So just to ask you, when you think of Boris Johnson, what comes to mind? Maybe just type into the chat box on your right. What adjectives, what nouns spring to mind? Walking parody, lovely, awful hair. Can I tell you something here? I've been told this, that in the early days of Boris's career, every time he was going to appear on television, before the camera started to roll, he messed up his hair, thereby reinforcing his image. Crazy Boris, messy, yeah. Okay, overconfident, well, that's the background he comes from. We'll look at that in a moment, what his background is. Okay, shall we move on to the next slide? So here, can you spot Boris? Would anyone tell me where is he? Which row?
Here.
Bottom front.
Yeah, sitting there. Yeah. Lovely, thank you.
Is the conservative party?
Well, no. Well, yes and no, actually. I'm sure there's a bunch of conservatives in that picture. It was actually taken when Boris was a student at Oxford University, of course. He went to Eton College and then to Oxford. Surprise, surprise. Do you recognise anybody else from the world of politics in that picture? No, at the back row, the second on the left, the young man there.
Cameron.
It's David Cameron.
Coming in.
Boris's predecessor and rival. Okay, they belong to the Bullingdon Club, which is infamous rather than famous because it's a dining club for young gentlemen. You have to be invited to join it. You have to spend a lot of money on dining out in private dining rooms, throwing food around, getting drunk, and going back the next day to pay for the damage you've done to the room. This is the reputation of the Bullingdon Club. All RP speakers, posh boys, definitely. Thank you, Claire. All right, moving on to the next slide. So before we watch, let's just think back a bit. As you remember, Boris was Mayor of London for, I think it was till 2000. He was certainly Mayor when we had the 2012 Olympics. Oh, Christina's just added, they also brought prostitutes to their dinners and in general didn't treat women well. Same hairstyle as Bill Clinton. Yes. What did he achieve as Mayor of London? He brought in the Boris bikes that you could hire just to get from A to B in London. He replaced the traditional double-deckers with bendy buses that bend in half as they go around a corner. And he was mayor at the time of the Olympic Games. Some of you might remember of him, a picture of him in the newspapers trapped on a zip wire for half an hour, waving Union Jack flags. Was that an accident? I'm not sure it was. Let's move to the next slide. The Jubilympics, yes. When he was Mayor of London, his critics would say he was quite often not around. He left his staff to get on with the work and then he got credit for the results. He sold off land in the centre of London, including the Olympic Village, to foreign investors for development, but without consulting the public. And his colourful love life, to put it politely, took up a lot of valuable time and maybe energy. So we need to know all these things to appreciate the sketch we're going to watch. Let's move to the next slide. Okay, bit of vocabulary that you might, he refers to bungling, to being a bungler. That's someone who constantly makes stupid mistakes. Acres of land, large areas of ground for building. Yes, too many things seem colourful. I agree with you, Zorika. He talks about cash in hand when you receive payment in secret for something so you don't have to pay tax. He's described as horny, an informal word, keen to have sex. Let's move on to the next slide. In fact, he mentions at one point he uses public schoolboy slang. A chap simply can't resist the pull of his knob. A man can't resist his desire to have sex. He uses the adjective bonkers, mad or crazy. And the word I mentioned at the beginning, a shambles, a personal situation that is completely disorganized. So we're going to watch a comedy sketch which has background music. Boris is actually singing karaoke to the music of the TV programme The Wombles of Wimbledon Common. In the picture you've got a womble who looks a bit like Boris actually. The programme was about a little colony of furry creatures who lived underneath Wimbledon Common, and their job was to come out at night and clean up the common. I'll just give you a quick blast of what the song sounded like. I can't sing, so I'll half sing it, half speak it. Underground, overground, wombling free, the wombles of Wimbledon Common are we. Da, 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 da,
Good use of the things that we find, things that the everyday folk leave behind.
That's it. Thank you, Claire. And here goes then. Boris singing karaoke to the tune of The Wombles of Wimbledon Common. And you've got subtitles just to make it a bit clearer. Here we go.
Underground, overground, buses and bikes. The bungler of Bullingdon does what he likes. Laying to waste vast acres of land. So to Qataris, it's yours, cash in hand. I'll be Prime Minister if no one remembers how shit I am at being London's mayor. I'm not often there. An eye for the ladies. I'm Boris, the horny MP. Under sheets, over beds, whatever the job. A chap simply can't resist the pull of his knob. Making good use of his contacts from school. Pretend to be bonkers while plotting to rule. Remember you're a Boris, pretend to be a shambles.
Fabulous.
Okay, just to say about that, that was from a program called Newsoids. We've given you the link to it, and it has parodies of various people in the public eye. He obviously was not Prime Minister at the time, though, so it was prophetic what happened. As we say, beware of what you want, you might end up getting it. And I think that's what's happened to Boris. He was desperate for the premiership to be Prime Minister, and he's got it, and he's bitten off a lot more than he can chew. And yes, it's incredible that people vote for him and his crew. I didn't, for one. But yeah, that is our public opinion of Boris. Okay, so if you'd like, after this session, if you'd like to leave some comments on Facebook, we're curious of what you've watched. Oh yes, why do so many people find him appealing? Is it the power? It's the boyish charm, I think. I don't know.
Can I give a theory for that?
Well, sorry?
Can I give my theory for that?
Yeah,
Why
go
people
for it.
find him appealing? It's nothing to do with him. It's just that dreadful accent.
Uh-huh.
That accent still, for some reason, in this country, people think it's related to some, I don't know, intelligence or command or something. It's awful. I think it's really just the accent.
It opens doors, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. RP, prestige, authority. That's right. Notice the accent when he was singing. He had that posh accent. Pretend to be bonkers while plotting to rule. Yeah. Babe Magnet. Woohoo! Anyway, what you immediately related to and found funny. If you've got any questions. Why? Oh, we have so many of these here too. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I feel you have my sympathy. And anything that you didn't find funny, of course. Okay.
Go into gallery mode and then we can see everybody.
Yeah.
There's the PowerPoint I can share with you guys later. That's easy.
Lovely. Okay. Sorry, can I just say one last thing? The material that I've written in the self-study lessons, there's one that I think you can use with your students. It's a series of British jokes which reflect different aspects of our sense of humour, match the joke to the punchline. So hope you enjoy that. And a reading from the conversation about, is humour universal, or do nationalities have their own particular sense of humour? Okay, goodbye to Claire.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you for coming and joining in. Thank
No
you.
problem. See ya.
And singing.
See you.
Okay.
Anything you guys would like to comment on? And
Yeah.
yeah, anything you found funny or anything you didn't find funny?
I think that people like that kind of people because a lot of people are not interested in politics, and to them it only matters that they're funny, or some people are even, oh, no one likes him, well, I'm gonna like him. That will make other people, irritated. So yeah, that's how idiots become chairmen, like in our country as well. So very, very funny. Well,
I think it's that, and it's friends in high places as well. And the kudos, so the Eton boy, the Oxford University boy, as Christina says, that way of speaking. It cuts no ice with some of us. Anything else? Yes.
May I say something?
Brianna. Yeah.
It might be interesting for you to know that he paid a visit a couple of years ago to Serbia.
Uh-huh.
And it was an official visit, but he advertised a book that he wrote. I can't remember the title. And I read an article after he came back to England that he took advantage of the official visit to advertise something that is his private business.
True.
And I was surprised because I thought that prime ministers should be a little bit more transparent, that they shouldn't do things in such open way.
Absolutely. Interesting. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Right. Shall we call it a day?
Thank you very much, Liz, for coming along and giving us this very, very fun and informative talk. I really appreciate it.
I enjoyed it too.
Yeah.
All right. Then.
Yes. I'll hang around for a couple of minutes if anybody wants to ask any questions or say anything extra. Liz, it's up to you. You may have other things you need to do. I'm going to stop the recording here if that's okay with everyone.
All right then. Christina, do you need to talk to me afterwards at all? No? Okay. In that case, I will go. Yeah. Okay.
So just go. Take good care, Liz. It was lovely to have you. This evening,
Goodbye,
right?
everyone.
bye.
Have a good evening. Bye.
I have a question. So